understand that when you're on this journey of semen retention, sobriety, semen retention, and earnest, that the biggest obstacles that you're going to face, believe it or not, it's not going to come from women. Because we already know what women want. Women want your sperm, they want your DNA, they want your money, they want your life force, they want you to drop dead and die so they can hop on the next dick and do the same thing, rinse and repeat. That is their nature, that is what they are programmed to do. That is what they've always been programmed to do. At one point in time in the early 1900s, as far as the early 1900s on back, we had more control over how women conducted themselves, because men were men back then. Men carried themselves with authority back then. Men carried themselves with purpose back then. Men weren't just slinging their dick all over the place, just allowing any bitch to back it up on them. And it's as a result of doing the exact opposite of what we used to do in the early 1900s and in the 1800s, 1700s on back, before the resets happened here in this realm of Earth. Now doing the exact opposite is exactly what we have. You know, we have a bunch of degenerates walking around for the most part. And when I talk about degenerates, degenerate men. Women have changed because men have changed. Men don't want to take any responsibility or accountability for how they carry themselves and present themselves. Now, women, we already know that just by design and by nature, they're not going to take accountability for anything. That's just their nature. So to balance things out, men have to take accountability. Men were always meant to be the leaders, and we are the leaders, to take accountability for how we control ourselves, how we sustain ourselves, and how we sustain Earth, how it reflects off, and how we have lost discipline is a complete reflection on how women look and on how Earth looks, and how we are governed by the powers, by the royal elite, the banks, everyone that, the cinema, the media, all of them, everyone that governs us, that we allow to govern us, I should say, because we allow them to, unfortunately, because we're too damn weak to come together and actually understand as a male species that we don't have to tolerate any of this. But alas, all of us, we cannot come together, and the semen retention movement is on the bottom, very strong, understand, very strong. One of the stronger and underrated movements that's happening right now that people want to act like don't exist, but it's very strong, but it's not getting the traction that it needs because there are too many beta simps, too many boys, too many losers that are locked down by their female. They can't go one day without touching themselves. If they don't have a woman, they can't go one day without touching themselves. They can't do anything. They can't do anything because they're pussy whipped. They're pussy whipped. It is just that simple. They don't believe in semen retention. They don't believe in SR, sobriety, and earnest. They don't believe in quitting their addictions. They don't believe in any of that. They just believe in pleasure at all costs. Pleasure at all costs. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter. My life doesn't matter. I'll smoke and drink my life away. And then when they catch terminal diseases, like sexually transmitted diseases that are terminal, or they have issues with their lungs, or they have issues with their liver because they were smoking and drinking, or whatever the case may be, the substances that are now killing them, and they have to go to the hospital. They don't have the medical bill, the money to pay for what's going on with them internally, and now it's too late. And now their only hope is semen retention. And if you're in this boat, I hope it works out for you. I really do, because I'm not condemning you. I'm just letting you know the reality. I've made awful decisions too, and I'm also suffering from health issues that are not terminal. Thankfully, that aren't terminal, but I think that's a semen retention. But the reason why I implore you to take a stand right now, you don't have to wait till you have issues with your health, like I do, and like other guys do, to understand the severity and the seriousness of preserving your seed and preserving your wellness. It's very important. It's very important if you plan on surviving in 2025 and beyond, because the state of the world is not going to get better. It's going to get harder. The exploitation of sex selling is going to continue. It's not going to decrease. It's going to increase. And as a male of any age you may be a teenager watching this, you may be a young man watching this, you may be a middle-aged, maybe an old man watching this, it's never too late to start. It's never too late to start, but you have to do it in earnest. And you have to do it before you get too far, at the point of no return. to where you're just so damn sick, and it takes so much. Now you're crippled and your knees don't work like they used to. Your joints, your tendons, your ligaments don't work like they used to. And why is that? Because the key to building up a man's masculine strength is through semen retention. Is why all the famous people have, as famous as they've been and as under control as they are by the royal elite, because they're all actors and puppets, even they've spoken about semen retention. Mike Tyson, Elon Musk, LeBron James. I don't like LeBron James, but he spoke about it. Michael Jordan. So many people that talk about the practice of semen retention, and not even just that, but it being an ancient practice as well, a highly respected practice. But it's frowned upon because it's like, oh, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do then? I'm supposed to just stop watching porn, delete my applications, delete my OnlyFans, delete everything that I've built my life up to be, which is honestly a pile of shit. You're sitting in a pile of shit. And you got boys. You got boys talking. You got boys talking like they're men, and they'll come at you. The women you can expect to come at you because that's just what they do. I honestly wouldn't. That's not an issue. That's a non-issue. Women are a non-issue unless you make them an issue. When you pay attention to them, that's when they are an issue. If you just ignore them, then they're not an issue. And they can't stop you. Neither can men. But I'm just letting you know where the biggest opposition is going to come from. And it's going to come from men, because you have more men that are not on semen retention than men that are on semen retention. I don't know exactly what the percentage is, but I'm sure and I'm certain it's under 5% of men that are actually on SR, sobriety, and Earnest. And Earnest, what does that mean? Let's get into it. It means okay, I'm going to be on retention, but then I'm going to plan to relapse this day. Like Valentine's Day is coming up, and there's a lot of men that are on semen retention, and they're not on semen retention in Earnest, so they're on clown retention. And since you're on clown retention, what is clown retention? For those of you that know me, you know what clown retention is. So for those of you that are new to my channel, I made over 158 videos before my channel was completely sacked by YouTube by not following the terms and conditions when I was actually monetized, so they demonetized me. And in one of those videos I spoke about clown retention, and I'll speak about it again for those of you that are new. Clown retention is when you think you're on semen retention, but you're actually on clown retention because you're still looking at women. You're still looking at females that are catching your eye. You're still talking to females, not because you work with them or because it's a business construct or whatever, but because you're actually interested in one day probably making them your girlfriend or your wife or fucking them or whatever the fuck. Who the fuck knows? Or just you want to thought her out or whatever the hell it may be. You know, a quick fuck, and then you want to, okay, now get back on it. Okay, you can do that all you want to. Number one, you're on clown retention. And number two, you are going to suffer the penalties of semen retention. The semen retention penalties. What are semen retention penalties? It's actually quite simple. There's semen retention benefits in which things align with you. You speak accordingly, you speak intelligently, you speak articulate. You articulate yourself in a professional manner. You're able to think clearly. You're not confused. You don't have brain fog. You may be frustrated with your life, your bills, your whatever the hell may be going on in your job, but you feel in control and you feel the power of semen retention swelling up in you. You feel it. You feel it. Clown retention is the exact opposite of that, to where you're just, you think you're on semen retention, but you're not. You're not. You're really not. And it's going to show, because when you're on semen retention, everything's aligned. Everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. Everything, every single day, no matter what you're going through, no matter how hard things get, everything just falls in line to where you just make it out just in time. You always catch that light just in time. This happens just in time. You find that $100 bill just in time. I'm using just examples. You guys that are on semen retention, that's are in earnest, you understand what's happening in your life. Despite your frustrations, you understand that this is the path. You understand. And that's why you're not getting off the path, because you understand also, conversely, semen retention penalties. You relapse one time, even before you get to the point of relapsing, don't you understand that you already start suffering adverse effects? You may not even relapse. You've been on a long streak, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 1 year, and all of a sudden you just start, and you see how things are flowing with you, but the second you start to lower your guard just a little bit, you start to see how things, the boat starts to rock. It starts to rock. Things start to get a little shaky. Things start to get a little shaky, and you haven't even relapsed, but you can feel it, like, okay, this is not the path. And you feel your blood pressure getting hotter, and you feel in the back of your neck getting hotter, and your brain feels like it starts swelling. You guys understand. Those of you that have relapsed over and over and over. I've relapsed more times than I can remember before I actually got on this long ass streak that I'm on. And that's when you need to understand, you need to, whoa, you need to back up and get back on track. Cleanse your mind, do something else. You better go outside, you better jump in the shower and turn that shower on complete cold and stay in there for as long as you need to before you start, until you start thinking about something more productive as a man. And after you're done, you need to go outside and do something else. Go for a walk, do something. But you can't relapse. And those of you that have been on this journey for a long time, you understand that you can't relapse. You understand the seam of retention penalties. When things start going horribly wrong for you after you relapse, it's not a coincidence. Those of you that are on SR Sobriety and Earnest, you understand that it is not a coincidence, and you are facing the penalties. God is punishing you. I'm not religious. You guys already know what I'm talking about. You are God. You are a electromagnetic being. And when it comes to you, when you retain, you attract positivity and things to you in earnest, but it has to be in earnest. So when you are not on semen retention and you're on clown retention, and you're jacking off every now and then, or you're messing with your girlfriend, you shouldn't even have one, or you have a wife, complete clown retention, because even if you're not fucking her, it's hard to be on semen retention if you're married. It's just so hard, and I don't know what to tell you guys. You only have two options: stay with her and die and suffer, mental issues, physical issues, personal issues, psychological issues, because you're torn between, you're consciously aware of what happens when you release, or when you are with a woman that you don't need to be with, which is all of them. A lot of you guys are finding semen retention as you're married or as you're with a girlfriend. And if you're with a girl, it's much easier to break it off than it is if you're married. That's tough. I don't know what to tell you guys. You got to figure it out. You got to make one of the toughest decisions that you got to make: self-preservation, or stay married and keep on going downhill, especially with a woman that you know that you don't want, and you made a mistake, and now she doesn't take care of herself, she doesn't cook, she doesn't clean, she gets on your nerves every single day, because she's completely changed because she knows she got you. She knows she trapped you, so now she can just lose. Her figure is sloppy, it's disgusting, it's grotesque, and you can't do a damn thing about it because you are legally binded now. You're legally locked down to where if you want a divorce, it's going to be murder in hell for you to get out of that situation. And you have a tough decision to make, and I honestly wish you all the best. And I'm not being sarcastic, because it's sad and it's tough, and I don't wish that on any man. It's sad and it's tough when you're in this situation. I can't imagine, because I've never been married, but I have shacked up with a few women in my life that I felt were close to me, and that was hard as hell at that time when I was younger, even before I learned about semen retention. So I can't imagine you guys that are married what you're going through, but I recommend that you still seek SR Sobriety and Earnest, and let the power of God that is within you. The power of God is semen. It's our semen. It's our birthright. That's why we can create what we can create. Should we retain in earnest? Because it comes from our power. It comes from our electromagnetic aura. That's why when you give all that energy to the woman and it goes into the woman, she's able to create things. She's able to do things. Everything just goes right for her, and it goes horrible for you. Your immune system drops. Your hair falls out. Your hair starts getting grayer. Your skin is not as clear as it used to be. You're starting to have issues with your knees. You're starting to have issues with your tendons, legs. You can't keep any muscle mass on you. And you're not even 30 years old. You're not even 30 years old, and you're having these issues. You got to stop and think, and stop believing in the scientific community when it comes to our biological makeup, because they will be quick to tell you, oh, it's just genetic. Horse shit. It's not genetic. What's happening is you have succumbed to the sexual degeneracy of society, and you have accepted it as a normality in your life. Cigarettes, drugs, whatever you fucking want to call it, substances that you put in, porn, OnlyFans, you know, everything is just a game, and everything is just funny, and everything's just fun until you gotta pay that fucking bill, and you will pay that bill. You will pay for what you have done to your body, one way or another. So why even wait till you get to that point? If you're young, you're strong, and even if you're old and you're whatever age you are, if you don't have any health issues, you have a strong body, you have a strong resilience. Stop testing the waters. Stop testing the waters, because then when that train is gonna come when you least expect it, and boom, it's gonna hit you like a ton of bricks. It's gonna hit you like a ton of bricks. It's gonna hit you, and you're gonna be, whoa, why is this? And you can't say no. You're here, you're watching this video, and not even just this video, but there's so many other semen retention channels out there all over the world. We're telling you the same thing. Stop now before it's too late. You don't have to wait until it's too late. You're watching this video right now because you're trying to decide, you're indecisive, or you already know what path to be on, whatever it may be, whatever the case may be in which you're watching this video. But you understand the severity of semen retention. You understand the seriousness of being sober in earnest. Everybody's smoking, everyone's drinking, nobody wants to live anymore. To me, when you're doing things like that, it's because you want to kill yourself. You psychologically, I don't give a fuck about how many people are partying and dancing, whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying, just getting it on, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you're burying your problems. You're pushing yourself further down. You're not getting high, you're getting lower. You're getting lower and you're sinking. You're dragging yourself down. You're dragging yourself down deeper and deeper, and you're just trying to cover up your problems, cover up your traumas, not deal with your psychological issues, not deal with your financial issues, not deal with the fact that you don't even know why you're here on earth. And you're just walking around, you're getting older and older, and your face is getting grayer and drier and dehydrated, because in case you don't know, when you ejaculate, it should be common sense, but if you stab yourself and you're losing blood, then that's life force. But there's so many people that would debate, no, semen is not the same. Semen, honestly, it's worse. When you ejaculate, it's worse than losing just a few pints of blood. Because what semen is and what blood is are two different things, even though they correlate to complement each other. So understand that you become dehydrated and you lose muscle mass, you get smaller. You literally get smaller. Your bones decrease. I'm not speaking metaphorically. You literally shrink as a man. You shrink. Your brain gets smaller because you lose brain fluid, vital brain fluid, zinc, magnesium, B12 vitamins and mineral things that just naturally come to you that we don't even need. We got all these drugstores, CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, all these medications. Oh, get on this medication. Oh, get on that medication. When I've heard so many stories and also am a witness myself, that a lot of your health issues can be solved by simply keeping your fucking hands out of your pants and leaving females alone. Completely alone. Just leave them alone. Leave them alone and take one step forward, literally at a time. Leave it all alone. Leave it off of your social media. I don't give a damn. We're in our phones anyway. I'm not saying get off your phone. This is the society that we live into, where we love to watch our phones. I love to watch funny things every single night before I go to sleep, because it helps my peace of mind. To laugh. It's good to laugh. It's good for the soul, I believe. But you got things on your YouTube, on your TikTok, on your Instagram. This is your choice. You are a grown man. You know what you can follow, and you know what the algorithm's going to try to recommend you. And if you got things in your algorithm, and is it, why is the algorithm showing me this? It's because you are thinking it. In case you don't know, these phones can feel, and they know what we're thinking. You ain't got to believe in it if you don't want to, but I've lived long enough, and I've used these devices long enough to where, and I live alone. I live alone in my new place. Finally got my own place. It took a while, but it's my own spot, and I live alone. And even before I lived alone, and now that I live alone, it doesn't matter what the circumstance was. When I would think about some things, I would think, just thinking about something, and I wouldn't mention a word, and all of a sudden it just pops up in my phone. Nah, No, there's no coincidence. It happened once and I thought it was a coincidence. But then I remembered I don't believe in coincidences. So I just waited for it to happen again. It didn't even take 5 minutes for it to happen again. This was just a few years ago that I found out that these phones, for whatever reason, they are connected to us. And they're not just listening to our words, but they're listening to our thoughts. So change your thoughts and change what you're looking at also, simultaneously. And the algorithm will change and it will start recommending you things that you actually are interested in. But you can't fool the algorithm. The AI is smarter than you think. The AI is smarter than you think. So be smarter than the AI and let the AI know what you want to see. Don't let the AI dictate what you want to see, because it will. It's only your algorithm's only a reflection of what you're interested in. And if it's that hard, then you need to delete all these social media applications. You need to delete them then, if it's that hard. I know I did. I use YouTube, and yeah, that's it. I use YouTube. You know, I got a WhatsApp, Telegram, or whatever, but that's not really social media in the way that YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok are, and Twitter. You got to understand. You men need to understand that your biggest opposition it's going to be men. It's going to be males coming at you because they don't want to believe. They don't want to believe. So you're going to be ostracized by your best friends that you've known all your life. You're going to be ostracized by your father, by your mother, by your family, by your co-workers. The ones that are on SR, Sobriety, and Earnest are far and few. They're far and few, and they're going to ostracize you, and it's going to suck. It's going to suck like a bitch, but it's better than walking around like a bitch, chasing thoughts. I live in a building where I have neighbors that argue every now and then. And the ones that are always yelling is never the women, it's always the men. And I hear them yelling, and they got kids, and I hear them yelling, and I listen to what they're saying. It's all the same thing. These men don't even know each other, but they're saying the same things, which is not weird to me because I've been saying it for a while now. That having a wife or living with a woman or being with a woman or being around a woman any particular way is going to make you say things like, what am I doing with my life? And you're an evil woman and you tricked me into having this kid and get off my son and don't touch my son. And it's just the same things. Ain't no one trick you. No one tricks you. We all had a decision to make, and you decided to make the decision in which you wanted to live with this woman. And you wanted to keep on fucking this woman, and you want to keep on coming in this woman, and now here are the results of your choices. No, you can't just throw your hands up. No, you can't just do that. I mean, you can if you want to, but things have gotten a bit more complicated, bro, than just her being just a girlfriend. Now you got a kid, and now you got to make serious decisions. So I wish you guys all the best in that. But for those of you that don't have kids, I encourage you to never have kids, because we're going into the era of 2025 and beyond, 2030 and beyond, and smart cities are going to be a thing. The RFID chips that they're going to try to force us to implant into our skin to be able to pay for things, and to get into our buildings, to start our cars, to access our phones, to basically be locked into the grid, as if we're literal robots, where they always know where we're at. If you don't know what an RFID chip is, an RFID chip is what's on your credit card. It's what's on your debit card. It's the little chip that's on the card that's silver. It's very small, and you'll see it. You stick it into the machine, and it scans, and you know what I'm saying? You take it out. They're trying to put those into our skin, but they will be the size of a rice grain. So why do you want to bring a kid into the world like that when we're already going to be having to battle for our lives, literally, just to ward off the totalitarian establishment? I'm not doing it. I'm not getting a chip into my skin. You're not putting a piece of technology in my skin. So you have to figure out what to do. You have to understand the real political climate of what's happening in the world. You know, there's no time to think about trying to have a kid. There's no time to try to think about having a girlfriend or a wife. That's all a part of the obey system. Understand? It's a part of the obey system. Obey, reproduce, have kids, get a job, get a mortgage, go to college, get a 4-year degree, listen to what the man says. Just basic. It's baby boomer structure. being repeated, rinsed and repeated over and over and over. And there are those that are breaking out and are doing different things. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go to school. I'm just going to get into social media and make a gazillion dollars. Okay, you made a gazillion dollars, but they still made the biggest mistake in still entertaining women. So now you see all these rich people that are running around that have done different things in the new era, post-baby boomer, traditional brainwashing, but it still lived on enough to fuck their lives up for them to hold themselves. Understand? You guys need to understand that this is a war. This is a serious war in real time that's happening. You may not see the bullets flying. You may not see the AKs. You may not see the tanks. You may not see the boots on the ground. But this is a different type of battle. This is an energetic electromagnetic war that is going on between the male entity and the female entity. The matriarch and men. And men. And they know. That's why they've waged war against us. That's why they're trying to feminize anything that has a dick. That's why they have men going up in your schools and things of that nature, teaching young men that it's okay to walk around with a skirt. And teaching them all types of things, saying all kinds of things, because if you say anything against them, then you're just a hater. You're a hater and you're discriminating, and that's why people are afraid to speak up and are afraid to say things, the things that I'm saying. But this is the truth. I'm not bringing no kid into this world to deal with that. At one point in time, I wanted to have one. That's up. That's done. No. Because of what I aforementioned in regards to what's happening with the world, and also, you're not the woman that you have a kid with. She's going to betray you. She's going to betray you. I was told all this stuff when I was younger. I didn't understand what he was saying. I didn't understand what the men were saying. I didn't understand. All I wanted to do was just fuck. I want to fuck, smoke, and drink and party for the rest of my life. And it's hilarious. I can smile right now because it's fucking hilarious. I can think about that shit. And I thought I was so smart. I've always been an intellectual, and I'm a serious political science and history major, and beyond. I'm an inquisitor of reality. So I've gone beyond just the things that I've studied in school. But it's incredible that I've always been told my entire life, oh, you're so intellectual, oh, you speak like this, and I look back on it and I feel stupid right now because of all the things that I learned. It's like, why didn't I get semen retention? Why didn't I understand that? And it's crazy, and that's why it's important not to put yourself on a high pedestal whatsoever. Even when you understand semen retention, SR, sobriety, and earnest, it's important to stay humble and to not put yourself on a pedestal, because there's so much more to learn about this journey, and it's an endless journey. But it doesn't have to be a miserable journey. Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to your father. Don't listen to anyone, any man that's trying to stop you because he wants to get you back into the fold of losership. We talked about this. Losership and clown retention both go hand in hand, because the loser, I guarantee you, he is not on semen retention. He is not on SR, sobriety, and earnest. He's not. There's just no way. You can't be a loser and then say I'm on SR, sobriety, and earnest, but you look like a bum every single day on the street. You don't dress yourself. You don't groom yourself. You don't take care of your teeth. You don't take care of your ears. You don't take care of your hair. You don't take care of your physical physique. You don't take care of your foot care. You don't take care of nothing. You smell awful. You don't take showers. When people come to your house, they don't want to be there because you stank and because your place looks like a wreck. How you look and how your place looks and how you speak and how you conduct yourself is a complete reflection of what is happening inside of your mind. It's just that simple. So if you got pussy on your mind all the time, I'm speaking by experience as a former sexaholic. If you got pussy on your mind all the time, you're not going to be organized. You are not. It's not going to happen. I tried to make it happen. If you're smoking and drinking, if you're doing any substance, even in moderation, you're not going to be as locked in as you need to be. I'm letting you know the facts. It's not an opinion. I don't express opinions on my channel. I express only facts. These are the facts. Your life is not going to be as organized as you want it to be. And it's just that simple. Those are the facts. I've tried to half-ass it. I've tried to taper off, and it's tough. I understand, but if you can get on SR Sobriety and Earnest and stay on it, I recommend you do it, and I recommend you don't turn back the other way. You don't have to do what I did. You don't have to waste your time trying to really figure it out, and then and then you relapse, and then it just rinse and repeat, and you lose the benefits. You lose everything. You lose everything, and then you got to restart again. And I understand. And I said this in my other video yesterday, I think it was, or maybe 2 days ago, I forget. I only have 2 videos, or 3 videos now, counting this one, up. You know what I'm saying? Because I lost all 158 of my other videos on the previous channel. Thanks to YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. So I said it in my other videos, a few other videos, that is important. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. You don't have to wait. I said that there are men that have started and just go, and they just went, and they didn't relapse, and they didn't stop, and they just kept elevating. I recommend you take that path. Follow that path. I didn't follow that path. That doesn't mean my life is whole or over, but I missed out on the benefits that I could have gotten. Now I will be somewhere different. If I first heard about Simp Retention in 2020. If I had just locked in from there, who knows where I would be right now. But I'm here right now. So I'm disappointed, but I'm also thankful and grateful at the same time that the seed of God that is within me has sustained me enough to still be here to speak to you guys despite my many fuck-ups. And my many fuck-ups is like, it's countless, like the hairs on your head. It's countless. Well, you can't count it. But you understand where I'm coming from. I've made many, many, many mistakes. You don't have to go down that path. You don't have to go down that path. If you're a young man, you don't have to. I'm letting you know that. You don't have to. But if you want to test the waters, I'll still be here when you come back. And hopefully you still will be too. Hopefully your time won't be up because you decided to keep on testing the waters, and now this woman got you killed, or she got you locked up, or she got you pregnant with someone. Not you. You understand what I'm saying? Both of you are now expecting a kid, unless you run away and just want to deny all responsibility. That's on you. But it's complicated. It will be complicated. So don't make things complicated. Focus on your purpose. Focus on what you want to do. If it be school, music, or I don't care. But it needs to be anything that is void of female companionship and a female trying to validate your existence. You walking around feeling like you need a female to validate your existence, you're in big trouble, because if you fail because she doesn't approve, your life is going to fall apart. You're going to feel crushed because you put all your faith in her that she would accept you because of all of what she was doing. I'm going to school for this, I'm doing this, I did it all for you. Okay, you can be mad at her all you want to, but now you've already heard what I've told you. You're not supposed to do anything for females. You're supposed to do it for yourself and yourself alone. So if you're doing it for her, you're in trouble. You're already in trouble. I don't care if she's always accepting. There's going to be a point in which she's going to break you. And she's not going to accept what you're going to do. And you're going to be so used to her validation, being codependent on her validation, being codependent on the matriarchal beliefs, that as soon as they turn on you, it's going to break you. It's going to break you, and you're going to have to make a decision. Do I want to continue to be broken like this? Or do you want to just throw your hands up and throw them all out the door, all matriarchal beliefs out the door, and finally embrace who you are as a man? Transform. You need to transform, and you need to understand that it's high time for all of us to transform. Everything that I say to you guys out there, I say directly to myself. I'm looking at myself right now as I make this video, and I say this to encourage you guys and to continue to encourage myself as well, because it's important. It's important, and it is imperative for your survival. You guys already know who I am. And you guys already know who you are. You need to understand who you are. You need to understand reality. You need to get out your feelings. You need to understand that this is a game. This is a game. This realm that we live in, this enclosed realm that we live in which we cannot leave because we are trapped within the Antarctica Treaty. Can't go any further than 60 parallels, any further than the 60th parallel. We met with deadly force. We're literally trapped here. So as long as we're going to be trapped here forever, at least in this lifetime, we need to be as strong as we can be till the very end. You can't give up and throw your hands up. Oh, well, we're all going to die anyway. Well, die strong. Die strong. Die healthy. Die happy. Die with good energy. Die with good electromagnetic energy. So whatever is after life, you will be met with a positive force. And I'm not talking about you're meeting God or you're meeting Satan. I don't believe in no heaven or hell. I don't believe in that whatsoever. I do believe that energy can't be destroyed or created, though, but just continuously changed. I do believe that. And I do believe in how I do feel. I feel and I believe that how you die is very important. I'm not here to talk about death, but you don't want to go around thinking that semen retention, sobriety, and earnest is a death sentence, all because now you got to change your life completely. The reason why many men want to change, can't get on SR, sobriety, and earnest is because they can't give up their friends. They can't give up their old life. It's too hard. It's too hard, and peer pressure is at an all-time high, and it's increasing second by second by second. As you watch this video, more peer pressure to do all of the things to destroy yourself. It's high. It's at an altar. If you are not participating in self-destructive behavior, you're seen as a clown. I'm seen as one of the biggest clowns here on earth. Because I don't want to smoke, I don't want to drink, I don't want to do any type of drugs, I don't want to participate in club activities. I don't want to participate in sexual activities of any kind. I don't want to talk about sex. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see anything that's going to try to arouse me. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. And it's just that simple. I'm not interested. I'm interested in something bigger, something greater, something that I'm doing everything in my power to get out of me. That I have a positive and strong and impactful, a strong impact here on earth. And that's what you want to do too. You don't want to look at yourself in the mirror and you see a loser. You don't want to look at yourself in the mirror and you see someone that's still procrastinating. Why are you procrastinating? Just do it. Whatever it is that you want to do it. But make sure SR, sobriety, and earnest is a first and foremost. Lock that in. Lock that into your life, and it will guide you when you don't have a mother, when you don't have a father, when you don't have the girl that you used to have or the wife that you used to have. It's tough. It's tough. I'm not a heartless motherfucker. I feel too. But I'm cruel against bitch feelings. Understand what I'm saying? I feel, but I'm cruel against bitch feelings. Bitch feelings is soy boy feelings. Simp feelings. Feelings in which you feel like you need to support the matriarch. I'm cruel towards that because I need to be, and you need to be. You can't let it down easy. You can't let those habits down easy. You gotta break off of them hard. You gotta break off of them hard, as hard as you can break off. You gotta be honest with yourself. You gotta look at your health. You gotta see how you feel. You can't just think everything is okay and it's gonna work out eventually. You're taking too much of a chance. It's like jumping in the ocean, jumping off a boat in shark-infested waters. But then you jump back on the boat because you made it before it was able to grab your leg or tear you to pieces. But you keep on doing it, and eventually you already know what's going to happen. You're going to be lunch meat. Don't be lunch meat for women out here. Don't be lunch meat for anyone out here. Don't be lunch meat for boys out here that want to keep you confined and want to keep you down because they're too weak to pick themselves back up. You're more than that. You're stronger than that, and you already know it. Just literally take one fucking step at a time. When you feel tempted, the temptations are going to come. They're going to come, but the further you go SR, sobriety, and earnest, the more the temptations go away. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I'm hardly tempted. I am rarely tempted. Because I've been on this shit for so long, I'm rarely tempted. My mind is just somewhere else. My mind is just somewhere else. I'm decisive. You become more decisive in what you want to do. The brain fog is just gone. It's amazing. Even if you're alone, like me, I'm alone. I'm alone, and someone laughed at me because I turned her down. She wanted to fuck me, and I turned her down. I said no. Oh, she said, oh, I can't have your energy. I must be so disgusting. I said, I don't give a fuck what the fuck you say. Get the fuck out of my face. You ain't getting shit. Say, oh, you're just an incel. You're so alone. I said, I'm not alone. I said, I got my sperm and I have my energy and I can do anything I want to do. I feel free. You want something from me and you're just mad at me that I'm not going to give it to you, that I'm not a stupid motherfucker. The women that are, that you run into, I read a comment in the comment section today, and you know who I'm talking to. I'm sorry that I don't remember your name because I'm making this video right now, but you know who you are, and I appreciate your comment. For those of you that don't know, I love reading you guys' comments because it gives me new ideas of things to talk about, the things that we could resonate with, because it's important. So I read all your comments, I promise you that, and I do my best to try to respond to them, should I have anything relevant to say. And he said that he's met women from all walks of life and they're all the same. It doesn't matter, spiritual, not spiritual. You know who you are. Thank you for your comment. And he said that it doesn't matter. It's all the same. It's all the same. And it's sad. It is all the same. And I forgot exactly verbatim what my response was. So I guess I'll try to get as close as I can to that. But I'll respond by saying this off the top of my head, that, and hopefully it's similar to the response that I said in the comments section, but even if it isn't, it'll still be helpful to you guys. Store up that energy. Store up the SR sobriety energy, because women are going to keep on coming to you because of the semen of attention attraction. So when the semen of attention attraction does come to you, and they start coming to you, and they wonder, oh, your eyes they're like fire, and oh, and your skin, and oh, there's just something different about you. I gotta let them down hard. Let them down hard. Let them down hard. Let them down hard. However you need to do it, you know your style. You know your style and what your aggression levels are and what your boundaries are. Keep your boundaries. Keep your boundaries, man. Don't let a woman just touch you. We can't touch them. If a woman touches you, don't let her touch you, because she's trying to steal your energy. And that's exactly what she's doing. I don't want to let women, I live in the biggest city in the world, and I don't ever let a female touch me. Ever. Not even graze me. On the subway and in the streets. And no, I will, you know what I'm saying, like shoulder checks happen every now and then, but I will never shoulder check a woman. Never. I don't want her to touch me. You will find women you will walk out of their way, and you will find them walking more towards you. I walk out of my way to get around them, and there's plenty of space on the sidewalk. She walks further towards me. There are some times, and I'll kid you not, that I gotta walk in the street. I will dead ass go in the street. You ain't touching me. Go touch all these other clowns out here. You got plenty of other clowns out here that are on clown retention, that want you, that wanna entertain your OnlyFans and your nasty, disgusting shit, degenerate way of life. You got plenty of guys out there. What you want with me for? Let women, and the reason why this is happening is because women aren't stupid. They understand that there's nothing out there but just pieces of dog shit boys out there now, masquerading as masculine men. Oh, I got a car and I got this and I got that, but I'm so important, but I can't keep my hands out of my pants. You fucking clown. You're a piece of dog shit is what you are, and you're an imposter, and you're on clown intention. You're on clown retention. You're on clown retention, and I see you. I see all of you out there on clown retention. I see all of you. How do I know? Because I've done it. So I cannot not see you. I'm speaking by experience, because I used to be on clown retention. I used to be on clown retention, thinking that I was doing something. You ain't doing damn shit. I don't give a fuck how much money you got. You're not on SR, Sobriety, and Earnest. I don't respect you. I don't respect you, and I never will. We have nothing to talk about, because electromagnetically, energetically, spiritually, mentally, I am on a different level. We are on a different level than you guys that are on clown retention. You're in losership. You're in the losership club of clown retention, and you need to get out of it. You need to get out of it. It's very simple. You can get out of it right now if you want to. It's a state of mind. Well, but I masturbated today and I relapsed. Okay. Let that be the last time you do it. Let it be the last time you do it then. And then you start now. And you start now, and you start feeling better, and you start building yourself up now. Let it be the last time you do. You don't want to feel bad. You don't want to fucking hear the shit that I gotta say. You don't want to feel convicted about the shit that I'm saying, about the shit that other people are saying, about the semen retention penalties that are coming at your head because you couldn't control yourself. Then start now and don't look back. You already know you don't want to feel like that no more. Start now and just don't look back. And you ain't gotta feel convicted. Then you can click on the video and just feel good. Like, yeah, I can resonate with that. Yeah, you ain't gotta feel convicted. How you think I got here? I got here because I got convicted. I got here because I got convicted from what all of you guys out there, for the ones that are preaching semen retention, that have been on it for a long time, way longer than me. I got there by listening to you guys and feeling like dog shit, but I had to make a decision. It's enough time feeling like dog shit. I gotta actually do something now. I gotta actually do something. I gotta get there. Can I do it? Yes, you can do it. You can do it. Just take one step at a time and slow down. And don't be so hard on yourself. Understand where I'm coming from. I understand my aggression. I understand all that, but I'm on your side. I'm on your side, men. I'm on the side of men. I'm on the side of males. If you're a boy and you're trying to become a man, I'm on your side too. I'm on your side too. It's tough. I understand the generation that you're growing up in. My goodness, I grew up in the late 80s and in the 90s. And it was like the degeneracy was rampant back then. So, and looking back at that era now compared to now, the 90s looks soft. I mean, in regards to like degeneracy, in regards to what people are doing today versus back then. In regards to how people talk, I honestly prefer how people talk back in the 90s and in the 80s compared to how they talk now. This day and age, everyone is soft in how they speak and whatever. They try to put up a front like they really are, like we live in some kind of society. Society today tries to put up a front like everyone is just great because everything is just great because everyone is free and everyone can do whatever the fuck you want to do. There's a risk that comes with a freedom of sexual degeneracy. Now anyone feels like they can have sex with anything publicly and talk about it. You ever noticed? You ever notice how literally everything is sexualized now? And how everyone's coming out of the closet and saying what they're into? From fucking dogs to messing with kids, you name it. You name it. This is the world that we live in right now. Well, why won't they get convicted, and why won't people won't convict them? Because they're into it too. So the same people trying to condemn them and say, oh, they're not supposed to fuck dogs and they're not supposed to mess with kids, they're full of shit. Because the same ones that are saying that are the same ones that are not on SR, Sobriety, and Earnest, and they got wives and girlfriends and boyfriends, and they're confused about their gender, and they're confused about what the fuck is going on. They're confused about what planet we're on, plane we're on, you know what I'm saying, because we don't live on a planet. All this shit, they're just confused. They're confused. So you can't trust people that are coming at one person in huge droves. So, okay, we're supposed to just believe that everyone's on SR, Sobriety, and Earnest. Not the case. Not the case. So men, understand that your biggest opposition, and you boys out there that are trying to become men, understand. Primarily you boys out there that are trying to become men, understand. This message is specifically, it's for everyone, but really towards you guys, heavily towards you guys, because you're making a serious transition from becoming a boy to a man. And it doesn't take 7 days, it doesn't take 60 days, it doesn't take 90 days. It's a long, long, long journey. But I recommend you start going 90 days. If you've never done semen retention before, start. And tell me how you feel after 30 days. Do it in earnest. Because if you're not doing it in earnest and you're still touching yourself and you're edging, you're not doing it in earnest, you're going to relapse. You're going to relapse, and you're going to relapse quick. You're not going to make it to 7 days. You're not going to make it 3 days if you don't do it in earnest. It's going to be tough. Your aggression levels are going to be through the roof. And that's when, that's your soul crying out, let's do something. Let's do something. You're on SR, Sobriety, and Earnest, and you're just sitting in the crib every single day. You got to do something. You got to get out the house every single day. Every single day you got to get out the house. If you can, you got to do something every single day, but it can't be because it's a chore. It has to be because you're looking for your purpose. And then eventually you will feel like it's not such a chore and that you're not so burdened down, and you've come to the other side of life. And you're starting to understand yourself more. And it's going to be hard because it's not even just about SR. It's not even just about semen retention. I said SR, Sobriety. So you could be on semen retention, but if you're not sober, you're going to relapse. And even if you don't relapse, you're still destroying yourself. The idea of SR, Sobriety, and Earnest, the idea of this channel, the idea of semen retention, is to better yourself, cleanse yourself, detox, heal from your traumas, your horrors, your bad dreams, your bad experiences, your health issues. You can still do it because you're still here. You can still do it, but you have to do it in earnest, and you have to believe. And it's not even enough just to believe. You have to know that this is the way. It sounds impossible, but unfortunately for us men, this is the generation that we were born into. We were born in the most degenerate generation ever. And we have to make a choice. It doesn't matter if it's the norm. You have to make a choice. As a male, you have to make a choice. I'm Alpha T Fitness, and I'm signing off.